Meet my new friend Payton. Payton is an American originally from Utah who ended up moving to the Philippines. Since settling there, he's fully embraced the Filipino lifestyle, living in the province of Cavite with his wife. Payton creates content about his experiences in the Philippines, both solo and alongside his wife. So be sure to check out their videos, links below. Payton and I had a great conversation about navigating a marriage between two cultures, understanding Filipino family dynamics, the complexities of Tagalog grammar and semantics, his 3 appearances on Eat Bulaga, and so much more. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Marunong ka bang mag-Tagalog?
Konti lang.
How did you learn? Paano ka natuto?
My wife. So I actually married a Filipino.
Well, that's good motivation. It's a good reason to learn.
She makes sure I'm learning every day. So
Where is your wife from in the Philippines?
Cavite?
Is that where you guys live now?
Yeah, we live there. We live here right now.
I was in Cavite one time, just to Tagaytay, and that was the only place that I was at. Yeah, are you guys close to there?
That's about 40 minutes from us. We live in Dasmariñas. Tagaytay is super pretty though. We were just there yesterday, and the weather there is fantastic. So
It's a little bit cooler, right? It's not quite as hot. It's
Yeah.
got like some mountain breezes, some higher elevation. I liked it a lot when I was there, honestly.
yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah, so where are you from originally?
So I'm from Utah in the US.
Utah. Okay. But now you live in the Philippines, right?
Yep, I moved here last October.
When you moved there in October, was that your first time in the Philippines, or had you been back and forth before then?
So I met my wife last February. So we were dating for like, I don't know how many months that is, 10 months, 9 or 10 months. And I came out to visit her family here that May. I stayed for about 3 weeks. And then that's when I proposed to her. And then I came down, moved out here in October, and then we got married in November. So I had visited once before for about 3 weeks.
You guys moved pretty quick. Not wasting any time.
I mean, yeah, if you know, you know. That's what I was feeling like. So
How did you guys meet originally?
it was just on a dating app, just online.
So you were like long distance at that point.
Yeah, we were long distance for a couple months, and I had like FaceTimed her and her parents and all of her family or whatever. And I was like, these people are awesome. Like, I love her. I love this family. Yeah, I was super excited to come out and visit the first time.
That's cool, though. That's a pretty unique way of meeting someone.
Yep, most of my family was kind of like, what? Like, what? You have a girlfriend? You're gonna get engaged? She's in the Philippines? What's happening? I'm just like, yeah.
Okay, I'll be honest. Learning to speak Tagalog is pretty hard. But with the right resources, it can be a whole lot easier. And I've got you covered with my Beginner's Tagalog course. With 18 comprehensive video lessons, this 2-volume course makes it simple to start building your Tagalog skills from the ground up. Plus, you'll get lifetime access to PDF vocabulary sheets that will help you practice and retain what you learn. If that sounds good, click the first link in the description below to start learning Tagalog today. Now, back to the video. So like when you guys started dating, were you like, oh yeah, I'm for sure going to go to the Philippines? Like you knew that was coming.
Yeah.
And how long were you there on the first trip?
3 weeks. For most of the time, I just spent time here in Cavite with her and her family, just like hanging out with everyone, getting to know all of her siblings and nieces and nephews and things. And then we actually took a trip to Cebu and with her parents and a couple of her siblings. And that was super cool. That was like, I'd only ever been to the ocean once in my life before, and it was to California. So I was like, I got there to like Cebu and the white sandy beaches and stuff, and I was like, this is like a postcard, you know, like this is like paradise you see on a postcard. Like that's the only time I've seen something like this. So it was super cool experience. We got to swim with like whale sharks and sea turtles and like scuba dive like with like, you know, like in Finding Nemo, the big like sardine like groups or whatever. Yeah, we got to like scuba dive by a big thing like that.
Oh, cool.
It was wild. It was super cool. And we were in Cebu for about a week, and that was super fun. And then I proposed to her at the Venice Mall. Have you been there?
That's in Cebu?
That's in Manila.
No, I don't think I have been there.
It's like a replica of Venice. Like it has like a canal like going around like in the mall, and it looks this super old looking like architecture or whatever. It's a cool place. But yeah, I proposed to her there and then I came home and couldn't wait to get back over here. So
I mean, moving to the Philippines, what did you know about it before you moved there? Because, like, I mean, you went there for her, right? Like, you didn't choose the Philippines specifically. So, did you know what you were getting into, or were you just open to whatever it was?
I had no idea. So I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And so there's a lot of like missionaries in our church that go here. And so like that was pretty much the only thing I knew about the Philippines was like members of our church would go there like to serve like a mission or something. And that it was like an island kind of place. Like I have an uncle, he served his mission here and he told me like a little bit about it, but not like very much. So I knew it was hot and humid and there was beaches and I was like,
Mhm.
okay, whatever. I'm gonna... And then,
Mm.
I mean, that first day coming here, I was shocked because we were in Manila and like just the traffic and like all the buildings, like how many people, I was just like, whoa, this is crazy. Like this place is crazy. But it was super, yeah, it's been super cool though.
Was it hard for you to get used to life there?
I would say the hardest thing was everything's kind of like slow, not just traffic, but like I feel like the way of life people live here, it's more just kind of laid back. Like I would say like the island life. Like it's kind of just laid back, like everybody's like chill and like slowed down a little bit,
Mhm.
except for some motorcycle drivers, but that's okay. But that was an adjustment for me because I feel like in the US where I was living, the culture was kind of like you work, 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 like you work all day, like 10, 12-hour shifts, then you come home, go to sleep or go to the gym and then go to sleep and then go work again the next day. And I don't know. It was like weird for me to just kind of like slow down a lot, but it was also it's been super nice. Just like a little bit slower, chill, just kind of enjoy every day kind of thing. So
Like, out of everything that you noticed when you got there, like, what stood out as maybe like the most shocking thing in comparison to life in the US?
no one's very shy, like at all. Like people just are like super friendly and they'll just talk to like anyone and everyone. Like everyone's talking to each other. Like there's no one's like really shy or anything like that. Like I almost want to say like less like social boundary, but like not in a bad way. It's just like everyone just like talks all the time. Everyone's like super friendly and like personable, like able to talk to. And I was just kind of like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like you could just talk to like everybody. Like you're sitting on the Jeep next to somebody and you're just like, they'll just talk to you, like if you want to talk or something.
Yeah, like they're very open. I've noticed that too with Filipino people. They're very open, very engaging. I've only been to the Philippines just one time, but when I was there, I was filming lots of content as well. And so if you walk around like Manila with a camera, it draws a lot of attention. And in some places that would push people away, in the Philippines, it brought people in. They were like, hey, what's going on? What are you filming? What's your channel name? Let me check it out. And so it lent itself very well to making videos because I always had someone that I could, film with or talk to. And, a lot of my content is based, around speaking Tagalog. And that's hard to do if you have no one to speak with, right? And so that was a pleasant surprise for me being in the Philippines too, how easy it was to just like strike up conversations with people. Where here in the West, sometimes we're a little bit more reserved, I think, maybe a little bit more independent. We kind of just like, yeah, you do you, I'll do me, like kind of shy, maybe stuff like that.
I started just recently filming like TikTok videos, kind of just for fun of like stuff I'm experiencing here, mostly like trying foods or whatever. Yeah, I've noticed the same thing. Like if I was like in Utah and I was like holding up my camera while I'm at like a Wendy's or something, everybody would be like, what the heck? Like that's so weird. But like I do that here and it's the same kind of experience. Like everybody's like, oh, whoa, like, hey, what's your like channel or whatever? Or they just like, they're just excited about it. They're not like weirded out by it.
Have you spent the whole 9 months or 8 months rather in Cavite?
No, so we went to Palawan for our honeymoon. We were there for about a week, I think, and that was super cool. I mean, that's a pretty big like touristy spot, so there's a lot of people who visit there, but it was super pretty. I loved the food on our honeymoon. Oh, that was like some of the best food I've ever had in my life, I swear. Then we go to Manila. We have like a temple there, so we go to like the temple like once a week to Manila. We go to Batangas like once or twice a month or something just to like swim. So yeah, we sometimes go to Tagaytay, just a few places, just kind of closer by, but not. We haven't been able to travel a whole bunch of different places. We're planning to go to Boracay later this year, so. excited about that. I've heard lots of good things about that place.
Out of all the places that you've been in the Philippines, which one is your favorite?
I love mountains, so I love Tagaytay so far. Like I just love being high up, being able to like see really far. We went on a hike recently. It wasn't in Tagaytay. It was in Batangas, but it was like a mountain. It feels more like home to me when I'm up in the mountains and stuff. So I've loved like all of our trips that have kind of like been up in the mountains and stuff. But Tagaytay, I would say that's one of my favorite places. They have like you drive up this hill like up on to the mountain and you can like see everywhere, and then they just have like this chain of just restaurants and cafes. They're all like these cliffside places, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like I just love that.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this like famous Starbucks that overlooks the lake. Yeah, I didn't go there, but I heard about it.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet, but I see it like all the time. I'm like, oh, I want to stop there one time. One of these times we'll stop there.
Is it hard to get used to the temperature there? I mean, moving to a tropical country from Utah?
Yeah, it was pretty rough. Like I'm kind of mentally used to it now, but my body's still like not. Like I sweat so much. Like I'll be like just like sweating and sweating, and I like look at my wife, not a like drop of sweat. I'm just like how? Like so I'm like mentally used to it, kind of like prepared for the heat every day, but my body still just it's not used to it. Like I still just sweat a lot.
Yeah, you kind of like almost get used to just being wet all the time.
Yeah, especially if you don't have AC. Yeah, you're just gonna be wet like all the time.
But even if you have AC, you get like that crazy change where it's like really cold in your house and then you go outside and get hit with the heat. I think that even makes you sweat more, all right? Or being in the malls in like Manila, all the huge malls where the AC is blasting and then you go outside and try to go somewhere else and it's like, "Oh my gosh, like the difference is crazy."
Yeah, it's almost worse. Yeah, because your body is just not like it gets used to the AC, and then you're like, oh, okay, I'm good like this. And you go outside, scorching hot. Yeah.
So like where are you guys at with your future plans? Would you like to live in the Philippines forever? Do you have plans on coming back to the US or where are you at with that?
So we are planning to go back to the US in a couple years. We're planning to stay here for a couple years and then probably come here every year, just spend like a month or so or like a little longer or something just to like visit, but mostly be in the US.
Has your wife visited the US yet?
Nope. Nope. So that it'll be her first time. So
Also her first time meeting your family, right?
some of them. So some of my family came out for our wedding. Not all of them though. So she's met a couple of them.
That's cool. I mean, it'll be cool for her to see like where you grew up as well, now that you're seeing her country and seeing where she's from.
Yep, it'll be her turn for the culture shock.
Yeah, absolutely. What stage of the culture shock process are you in right now, 8 months in? Like, do you feel at home in the Philippines or not yet?
I would say the part I'm like adjusting with right now is kind of just like the different family dynamic. How like there aren't a lot of like independent decisions. It's more like the family kind of like everyone talks about all of your decisions and like everyone gives like their own like opinion about like it. And it's kind of more like there's lots of things that it's like a family decision and there's like not as many independent decisions. I mean, you still have your own like independent decisions, but there's like more that it's like more family involved, which has been not like a bad thing, but just a different thing experience.
Yeah, it's also different for you guys because, like, I mean, you're married, so it's like you have an international relationship. You know, you're bringing the American side, she's bringing the Filipino side, and then I guess you have to like meet in the middle on a bunch of things. How would you describe the culture that you guys have cultivated together? Does it lean one way or another, in like culturally speaking?
I would say it's pretty balanced. Yeah, I don't know. I would say it's
like a
pretty
50-50
balanced.
split. Like you do some things in the American way and some things in the Filipino way.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing that we take from my culture, I guess, and this is kind of just like the culture of my family, is like eating more healthy because there's a lot of like Filipino foods that it's just like not. It's just like there's a lot of fried foods and stuff like that. But there's also a lot of foods here that you can eat that are really good and also can be like healthy for you. So I would say that's the biggest like influence I feel like I have on our relationship is just like changing a couple of the foods that we eat. Oh, and going to the gym. I got her to go to the gym and couple of her siblings. I feel like that was kind of like a little bit more like foreign influence to them. But I'd say though, other than those two things, I think we live pretty Filipino lifestyles.
And do you think that will change when you go back to the US?
Partially. I mean, I think some of it will change just because we'll be more in my family's dynamic a little bit more, and that might change a few things, but I don't think too much will change.
Now, Filipino food is like a pretty big part of the culture. Was it a hard fought battle trying to change some of those dishes?
Liempo, liempo. That one's a hard one to not have because it's so good.
That's
It
the like
tastes,
pork, right?
yeah,
It's like
it's just
barbecue
like,
pork.
yeah, barbecued pork has like a lot of fat on it, but that's why it tastes so good. So like it tastes so good, but
Yes.
it's not so good for you. I would say like liempo, I don't know, mostly just pork dishes.
Lechon.
Lechon,
That's a heavy one. That's a really fatty one too. Lechon kawali, like just like the fried pork belly. So good, but yeah, probably not great for the heart. Do you have a favorite Filipino food?
yes. Sinigang na manok,
Uh-huh.
specifically my wife's cooking of it. I like
Okay.
hers the most.
And what's different about the way that she cooks it?
I don't even know.
Made with love. It's made with love.
Yeah, made with love.
Now I have a weird, like I have like a weird relationship with sinigang na manok because I used to eat that all the time back when I had a girlfriend from the Philippines. She would make it specifically with chicken, and I thought that that's how it was supposed to be. Like I thought that was a traditional sinigang was with manok, and then I found out later that it's actually typically made with pork or sometimes with fish or shrimp as well. And the chicken variety actually isn't the most popular. So like, is that something that comes from her family, like a specialty family recipe, or does everyone? Am I mistaken on how popular the chicken version is?
No, I had to request the chicken. So it
Ah,
was
this is
really
your
like,
creation. Okay.
yeah. So it was really like, it was more popular with the pork and the hipon and the salmon, which the salmon one, I actually love that one too, really. That one's really good. Her mom makes that one. But though, yeah, those are the ones that I had the first time I came out. And then the second time I came out when we were married, I was like, can you make this with chicken? And she was like, yeah, okay. And then I had it and I was like, oh, you should make it like this every time.
Uh-huh. And does she like it like that too?
Yes, yeah, she
Yes.
does.
You've converted her to it.
Converted her to the chicken.
That was like a new realization to me. I always just thought that sinigang was chicken. I didn't know any better. Because like all of my exposure to Filipino culture has been here in Canada, right? For the most part. So whoever I'm with in Canada is my representation of the Philippines. It's it's a lot of exposure, but it's a limited data set, right? It's not in the actual country. And so yeah, that was new information to me. And then I got into this whole like idea that sinigang na manok is also similar to like tinola, because tinola is also like a chicken soup. And so then I've talked to people about the difference between the broths in those, and it's like, whoa, now we're getting like really deep into the weeds with this. Like there's a lot of like Filipino food is like so I don't know, there's a lot of aspects of it to talk about. There's a lot of influence from other countries. There's a lot of different dishes, different ways of preparing it, regional twists and things like that. It's like you can talk about Filipino food like endlessly. I feel like there's so much.
I was on Eat Bulaga a couple times, and they would ask me like what my favorite food was, and I was like, oh, sinigang, and they're like, oh, sinigang, and I'd be like, no, 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 namanok, and they're like, huh? Like they were like shocked, like what? That's weird, and
And
and I
that's how
was like,
everybody looked at me when I said that as well. They were like, manok? I was like, yeah, right, guys? That's what we all eat, right? Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. So you were on Eat Bulaga twice, you said? How did that happen?
3 times.
Three times.
So
Okay.
they originally just reached out to my wife, Mona, because she has a lot of followers on her, like on our joint TikTok page, and they just saw like the videos, like our videos together, so they reached out to her and asked if we wanted to be on Bow Wow Judgment, and so we went on that one, and that was super weird. So like when she first asked me, I was like, "What? Someone wants us to be on a TV show?" I was like, sure, whatever, I guess. Okay. Like I had no idea what the TV show was or anything like that. And then yeah, we had a pretty fun experience there. It was like super out of my comfort zone, but it was like still super fun. And then the second time they contacted her again, but it was just for me to come on to do Foreignoi, the AFAM invasion. And that one was a little more even out of my comfort zone because they had me like you had to do like an act. So like they do like a short interview and then you do like an act, like a talent thing, and then you were competing against another foreigner. And so like whoever had like better stage presence and like performance, like they would win. So I did like a dance for my first one. I am not a dancer. In the Philippines, I have learned when someone says like you got to show your talent, it is not actually your talent. It is you're singing or dancing. There's
100%.
like
Yeah.
it's you're doing karaoke or you're doing like dancing or something. And so I was like, I'm not good at either one of those, but that's okay. I'll try. It was live, so I was practicing for like 3 hours just to like figure out how to do this like simple dance step, and I won that one. I did it. I won that one. I was like, okay, sweet,
It worked.
I guess.
Uh-huh.
And then they called me back again for like the semifinals. I think they did it like every week. Like they had a new Foreignoi episode like every week for a little while until like the final one with like the winner. And this time I was competing against two other people and we did like a group dance instead. We were like competing, but we were also like all dancing together. And then we had to do like a skit. So my skit was Belenki. So I had to like go and be like buying something, trying to like tawad, get like a deal for like the thing or whatever. And that was pretty fun. I got to show off the little bit of Tagalog I know how to speak.
Uh-huh.
Just like pabili po, puede tawad ate, like Magkano po, just like simple phrases of I mean, but like those are like the ones that I know. So I was like, yes, I get to say the stuff I actually know.
Yeah, perfect. Uh-huh.
But I lost in that one, but I mean, it was pretty fun. It was an overall like fun experience. Everyone was super nice. Everyone's super friendly, just like super supportive and like after every time I was there, all the nanas, like there'd be like a group of all these old ladies and they'd be like, picture, picture. Like it would take a picture. I'm like, oh cool, I have a fan base of all these nanas or whatever.
So where are you at in your Tagalog learning journey? So you said that you have learned some of it. You had some in your Eat Bulaga sketch. What other words have you learned?
I've started to learn like verb conjugation. I know a lot of like one word phrases, I guess. Like one of the first things I learned was baliw. So like baliw ka ba? Like asking someone like that. Or like sobra, grabe, like some of those things. Those are things now that are just like in my lingo. Like I just say them without like thinking about them. Like a lot of the words that are kind of like reaction, like reactive words or whatever. A lot of those are just kind of in my lingo now, but it depends on what subject someone's talking about. I can usually understand kind of what people are talking about, but I miss a lot of the little words and like where to put those and kind of like that thing. I like my speaking is not super good, but I can understand most of the time kind of what people are talking about, especially if it's our family, because like there are a lot of times talking about kind of the same things or the same subjects, and so I can kind of pick up a little easier on that. But verbs, just like natulog, takbo, that one's a random one that I learned from basketball, or like hawak, like hold the ball, like run or something.
Uh-huh. Yeah, those are good.
Kain, kain po, using po, like learning how, like where to put that. I mean, you can always just put it at the end, I've learned, but there's like better places you can put it as well.
Yeah, it's usually in
But
relation to the pronoun. Like if the sentence has a pronoun, it'll go in relation to that. Sometimes before, sometimes after. That's a good start, though. I mean, Tagalog is a challenging language to learn. It's complicated, grammatically speaking. There are a lot of things that you have to know, and especially the verbs. Like you're saying that you're getting into the verbs. That's such a huge part of Tagalog. It's crazy how many verb forms there are. There's all of these different verb categories. The mag, the mug, right? Mug salita. And then the verbs, the kumain, the MA, like you had natulog, right? MA verb, matulog. It just gets really complicated really quick. And so it's good that you're starting with that now, get that, get a handle on that right away.
I just learned about naka yesterday. So like have you questions? Like
Nakatulog ka ba ng maayos? Like that.
yeah.
Nakatulog.
Or like nakapunta ka na ba see house ni mama, something like that. I don't know if I put those in the right order, but yeah, something like that. Yeah, that one was helpful to learn because I find myself like wanting to ask, like, have you done this to a lot of people? And I've just been like, I don't know how to say that. But
Uh-huh. I mean, that's also a complicated thing, like because sometimes Filipinos will use naka, but there's the implication with that is that you were able to do something. Like it implies the ability to do it, right? So like when I speak to people here in Canada, in Tagalog, 10 out of 10 people will ask me, nakapunta ka na ba sa Pilipinas? Right? So they're saying like, have you been able to do that? Because it requires something from me, right? It requires a plane ticket. It requires some money. So like, were you able to do that? But that isn't always how the past tense of gone is expressed. Because you can also say pumunta, right? And so that would just be like the normal form. And so there's like, it gets confusing with Tagalog because a form like that, we don't necessarily have a difference in English. Like pumunta and nakapunta, for all intensive purposes, would be just like gone in English, or like went, or whatever it would be, whatever the past tense would be, right? And so there isn't like too much of a distinction, but yeah, that's a good one to learn. There's a lot of questions that are formed with that for sure. Naka.
I feel like most of the pronunciation is like pretty simple. Like I feel like I can do most of the pronunciation except like the NG stuff. That's a little hard for me. Like yeah, like that kind of that's a little hard for me. Most of the pronunciation is pretty easy, but yeah, it's just the conjugation and like making the grammar like correct. That's a little complicated.
Has that been the hardest part for you so far?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like sometimes she'll be trying to explain to me like why one thing goes in one place sometimes and doesn't other times. And I'm just like, I don't get that. Like why? Why does it do that?
Yeah. I mean, it's frustrating to learn a new language because everything is different, right? But you'll get there. Don't worry.
Yeah, it can be frustrating, but I enjoy it though. I think it's fun. I think I like being able to express myself sometimes in ways that I can't in English. Like I've found that I've been able to do that, learning some new like words and stuff, which has been kind of cool. But
yeah, I mean, like even like the grave that you were saying, grave, that doesn't translate very well in English. And
no, not really.
Right away, you start to realize that you can't translate almost anything word for word from English to Tagalog or vice versa. Like you can obviously convey the same ideas, but the way that they go about doing that is completely different. And I asked that in one of my videos. I said, what's the English version of grave? Grave. And everyone says like, oh, it's crazy, or it's, over the top, or it's too much. Yeah, something like that. And it's like, okay, on its own, that makes sense. Grabe. Ay naku, grabe yun. That's too much. It's crazy. But now, let's say, grabe ka. You are grabe. So now, what does that mean? Are you saying that that person's crazy? No, you're not saying that. You're saying they're too much. Yeah, I guess. I mean, that kind of makes sense in English a little bit, but people don't necessarily say that very often, right? You're too much. I don't know. It could have different implications. And so then, like, the more you add words to it, the more difficult it becomes to translate it, right? And that's just one word. Like it's a whole language full of these differences, right?
Yeah, like sometimes someone will send me a message on like Messenger, like one of my friends here or something, and I'll click the translate and it translates it, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, okay, untranslate. What does this mean? Like, because yeah, the more I've like started to learn the language, I've learned exactly that. It's just like it's more about expressing like a feeling or like the idea rather than like translating the exact words. Like once I kind of switched my mindset to that, I've been able to like learn a lot better.